When it comes to school, most of us can relate when it comes to problems with studying, time management, balancing between extracurricular activities, school, family, and friends. But my problems were different. I always imagined high school as the best time of my life, exciting, making bonds that will last a lifetime, and that I'll go into it fitting right in with everybody. Little did I know I would be facing one of the hardest challenges that I would have to deal with, being a minority. It never hit me until my second week of high school that I was the only African American student out of what started out as 170 girls in our freshman class. At first, this never bothered me. I made a few friends, got comfortable in my classes, and familiar with the building. But after a while, I started to feel lonely. I started to feel like I had no one to talk to, no one who understood how different I felt from everybody else, or how much I just wanted to see a familiar face, a face like mine. I would go home crying in my room and dreaded getting up to go to school the next day. It wasn't even the second quarter of freshman year, and I was already trying to transfer schools. My mom wasn't having it and told me that I needed to stick it out. Things would get better, and I just needed to find a place to fit in. When it got to sophomore year, I put the problems of freshman year behind me. But there was a day where all the pain I had felt in the past came back. It was my third bell gym class, and I was wearing a black Saints for Life hoodie. The gym teacher kept making remarks to me about my hoodie, and I realized that she was only telling me to take it off and wasn't saying anything else to the two other people wearing the same hoodie in front of her face. I felt that she had picked on me and singled me out for my hoodie and didn't even make a point to say anything else to someone else. I went to my counselor the same day, so upset and distraught that I couldn't even think straight. The next day, the teacher came up and apologized to me because she realized she was wrong and for only saying something to me and not the other people. That wasn't the only time where I felt I was mistreated because of my race. During lunch, whatever it was I had or brought, it was because I was black. If I said something during class that didn't seem to make sense to anybody else, it was because I was black. At first, these comments would upset me. I was shut down, and I wouldn't have anything else to say for the rest of the day. I went home upset, and I would be in a bad mood. I knew that people weren't saying these things to hurt me or offend me, but it still did. After thinking about it for a while, I realized I had two options. I could either A, let these comments get into my head, swallow me up, and distract me from what I went to my school to do, which was get an education. Or B, get a backbone, stand up for myself, and come to terms with yes, I was different from everybody else, and physically, but I didn't make up the person that I was on the inside. I started researching stories about people who have experienced racism, discrimination, and prejudice. I learned that it still exists today, whether we all realize it or not. Most people think that others have a dislike for certain races, genders, sexualities, or religions because they are uneducated. But this isn't the case. In most cases, it is because the person is just ignorant. They don't know any better, or it is because they've never been in certain situations experiencing diversity. Most of the girls at my school have never attended school with anyone else besides the people just like them. So when they were introduced to different people, they didn't know what to say or how to act, and it would get misconstrued. I realized that it was important for me to open myself up to getting to know the people around me and being open to sharing my background in hopes that others would do the same. When it comes to certain situations that we don't like, we try our hardest to avoid these situations and problems. We want to run away from them in hopes that it'll go away. We all do it. It's a part of our human nature. What we have to learn is that in order to get to where we need to be or reach a personal goal we've set for ourselves, we have to deal with situations we don't like. We have to open ourselves up to new experiences and surround ourselves around different people. The world is not black and white. It's filled with different peoples, cultures, and religions. First, my advice to you is to open yourself up to different opportunities. Experience different people and surroundings. If you want to be successful, you have to know how to deal with the different kinds of people and how to communicate. Second, network. Whoever you meet, whether it's a professional teacher, peer, get to know them. You may need this person later on in life for things such as recommendation letters, resume, or connecting to different jobs or opportunities. Lastly, we must treat others how we want to be treated. Just because someone was mean to you in the hallway or did something you did not like does not mean you have to react in the same way. Be the bigger person and be mature. That could go a long way. As Mohandas Gandhi once said, we must be the change we wish to see in the world.